We will be discussing Verner Panton and his red Pantonic side chair. Verner Panton was a Danish designer and architect. He is considered to be one of the pioneers of modern design. Quote, he added his personal stamp to design innovations with a twist of imagination and a touch of fantasy, end quote. Panton did not want to stick to the formal Danish functionalism when designing his furniture. Because he challenged this way of thinking and designing, he was able to create furniture that used plastics and fabrics in bold colors. He wanted living spaces to be less defined so that those using them felt more free. Panton thought that standard furniture did not need to be all the same shape and sizes, using the same materials to fit a predetermined function. He disagreed with the idea that each room had a list of predetermined furniture to include in that given space. Panton wanted there to be more options. He wanted spaces to feel more creative and free, and he thought there should be no restrictions because the possibilities were endless.
This stacking chair, designed by Arne Jacobsen in the 1960s, shows where many designers' heads were at when it came to the designs of more modern furniture. Jacobsen began to experiment with unconventional materials such as metal. His stacking chair features 3 legs, where most chairs would feature 4, and although Jacobsen is beginning to push himself, once we see Panton's designs, we notice that he didn't push himself far enough. Verner Panton designed his first molded chair in 1960. This was the first successful chair to be produced from a single piece of molded plastic, and although designers such as Charles Eames were attempting to do this, Panton was the first to be successful. Panton wanted a chair that was creative and unique, yet would comfortably seat someone. And although this chair looks anything but comfortable, he shaped it perfectly to contour the user's form. Color and light were also extremely important to Panton when designing his furniture, and he chose colors that had a positive effect on the user. It took Panton a really long time to find someone to produce his design, but then he discovered Vitra, and they still produce this chair to this day, and it is most commonly used in restaurants, bars, office buildings, and homes, and the Panton chair was only the first of his many successful imaginative designs.
The red Pantonic side chair is made from lacquered molded plywood rather than plastic. The plywood has benefits of being cheaper, and it is easier to create whimsical shapes and cutouts, but it also does not hold its finish as long as the plastic, and you are able to see wear and tear over time. The red Pantonic side chair holds the appearance of a continuous zigzag line. The chair has asymmetrical balance, which contributes to its funky and imaginative appearance. There is continuous movement that carries your eye through the entire structure. Cutout shapes add breaks and pauses to the movement and provide visual interest to a rather flat structure. Emphasis is placed on areas that have cutouts, such as the back and the base. Because of the overwhelming use of red, our eye is drawn to these missing pieces. Its intended function is a side chair. It appears to be a more decorative piece of furniture, but, like the Panton chair, it is molded to contour the body of the user. The Pantonic side chair is a modern piece of furniture that would add an imaginative and playful element to most spaces. The single piece of molded plywood works to eliminate what designers referred to as the forest of legs. Having only a single piece of plywood also simplifies the production and is more cost-effective. The side chair is one of the most important design contributions because Panton's design was the first to successfully produce a chair molded from a single piece of material. Quote, Panton's work was part of this trend to challenge the conventional forms of social interaction that had previously dominated furniture design, end quote. Color psychology played a large role in Panton's design. Colors such as red, blue, yellow, and purple had many positive effects on people's moods and mental health. Panton focuses on aspects of design far beyond just merely the form and function. Most of his designs, especially the red Pantonic side chair, stimulate people's senses, changing the way they are perceiving the shape, color, and surfaces of his designs. When discussing his vibrant and abstract Pantonic side chair, Verner Panton said, quote, "Most people spend their lives living in dreary, gray, beige conformity, mortally afraid of using colors. By experimenting with lighting, colors, textiles, and furniture, and utilizing the latest technologies, I try to show new ways to encourage people to use their fantasy imagination and make their surroundings more exciting." End quote.
Because the red Pantonic side chair was mass-produced by Studio Haag in Denmark, the product was able to reach a larger audience, although the physical design made it more appealing to more prestigious groups. Panton's chair was a perfect representation of the eccentric yet minimalist modern furniture design. The red Pantonic side chair is irrefutably modern, making it, for the most part, work exclusively in modern interiors. These modern interiors were marketed for a wealthier class, making this chair appeal to a more higher class audience.
Although the design and physical appearance of the chair may appeal to a higher class, Panton believes that his intelligent design should not be reserved for only the wealthy. He wanted them available to the masses.
Furniture at the beginning of the 1990s was sleek and used soft color palettes. Designers such as Shiro Kuramata experimented with materials not commonly used in furniture, similar to Verner Panton. Furniture was organic and incorporated curving lines that added character. Although these were common trends, no designer created imaginative and whimsical designs as successfully as Panton. At the start of the 1990s, the postmodernist style began to fade, and designers searched for a more purposeful approach to design with greater depth and meaning. Some drew on the optimistic 1960s vision of the future, with others returning to the origins of the modern movement to revive its attachment to simplicity of form. The felt chair, designed by Mark Newson in 1993, was inspired by the Japanese craft of origami. This is made out of reinforced fiberglass, which is different than the molded plywood of the red Pantonic side chair. Both contain similar modern design characteristics, such as the bold red color, the shiny finish, and the curvilinear organic form. The felt chair is more of a statement piece than the red Pantonic side chair, which has the versatility of standing out on its own or being part of the design as a whole. The S-chair was designed in the late 1980s by Tom Dixon and started being manufactured in 1991. There was not one consistent material used, instead ranged between a welded metal frame covered in wicker, fabric, or leather. The organic form of the S-chair is very similar to the red Pantonic side chair, with the curvilinear edges being similar in scale and proportion, giving it a similar use of either standing out on its own or enhancing the design of its surroundings.
Similar designers were also making side chairs around the same time as Verner Panton. Philippe Starck was a designer of a wide range of consumer goods, which included his chair Louis XX, which was produced only a year before Panton's red Pantonic side chair. Starck focused on mass-produced consumer goods rather than one-off items, and also sought to reduce the cost and improve the quality within the mass market. Like Panton's first chair, Starck's was produced by Vitra, who is a furniture company in Switzerland, and they are known for manufacturing the works of many renowned designers around the world. The Louis XX chair was made out of polypropylene and polished aluminum, and was given smooth curves and an appealing form. Similar to Panton, Starck wanted his products to have sensual and appealing forms that gave the piece personality. Starck also gave character to his work by giving them clever or whimsical names, and this chair in particular is to poke fun at the French tradition of adding numbers after the names of kings who had the same name. And like the red Pantonic chair, Louis XX's intended use is as a side chair, and this would add a more decorative or playful element into modern spaces.
After seeing and learning about the few chairs designed around the same time as the red Pantonic side chair, we can conclude that no designer pushed themselves as far as Panton, having a chair that exudes fantasy and imagination. Although these artists created successfully sleek and modern designs, Panton created an entirely new genre of modernism, and his Pantonic chair that used only one singular material and eliminated the forest of legs was truly iconic.